I'm not your gossip girl, I'm the headline. Truth with a curve, baby, redefine. Welcome to the thirst trap. All the truth looks good in a tight wrap. We talk love, power, soul, and sin. Turn the world on, let the light in. Yeah, the thirst trap news. You'll drink it up, it's the real you. Never try it, first row news. Where every headline's a revelation.
Okay, can we just take a collective breath and ask one question? Did everyone suddenly develop amnesia? Because I need to know why certain names just float out of the public consciousness like a deleted browser history. I hope everyone hasn't forgotten Erika Kirk. Oh, no. We're not making accusations. We're not filing charges. We're not even detectives. So calm down. We are simply noticing, and the noticing is getting loud. It's suspicious. You ever watch someone and think, not, just, Yeah, that's the vibe. Because here's what fascinates me about the modern world. The attention span of the public is about the length of a TikTok reel. Quite literally. I do this for business. Something explodes. Everybody gasps. Hashtags fly. Think pieces bloom like dandelions. And then, poof, just gone. We move on to the next scandal like it's a Netflix autoplay feature. But some of us, right here, have long memories. Some of us keep receipts. Totally not feminine. Some of us sit quietly in the back like, interesting. Very interesting. Now, again, let me be clear. Suspicion is not conviction. So keep your lawyers at bay. Side eye is not a subpoena. But culturally, when enough people start raising one eyebrow at the same time, that eyebrow becomes a movement. And lately, there's a lot of synchronized eyebrow choreography going on. And what I find so deliciously dark about all of this is how quickly people go from untouchable to, wait, what exactly was that? Power is funny like that. It struts, it preens, it assumes immunity. And then one day, the group chat starts whispering. Is it just me? No, it's not you, just you. Oh, okay, good, because I thought I was crazy. Nope, we're all seeing it. Suspicious, Miss Erika. Now here's the deeper layer, because you know I can't resist going spiritual with it. When something feels off in your spirit, it doesn't mean you grab a pitchfork. Although it might mean you need to grab a pitchfork. It means you pause first. Discernment, it's holy, friends. Discernment is not slander, though. It's not hysteria. Discernment is the quiet voice that says, pay the fuck attention here. And culturally, we're in an era of a mass discernment awakening. People are no longer hypnotized by titles, by platforms, or perfectly curated images. The spell is weaker. The gloss is cracking. And when that happens, scrutiny naturally increases. Not because we're evil, but because trust has been burned too many times. Now, do I know anything definitive? No. Do I claim secret knowledge of some sort about Erika and Charlie Kirk? No. Absolutely not. But what I do know is this. When patterns don't add up, people notice. And when timelines wobble, people notice. And when your energy feels, misaligned, like when you need to be emotional, Oh, people notice. And in 2026, noticing spreads faster than PR statements, TPUSA. The dark comedy of all of this is that the internet has turned into a global jury of vibes and they don't even need the evidence to feel that something's off. We just collectively go, and that really echoes. And here's my caution, because even in sass, we stay sovereign. Don't let suspicion turn you into the mob, but you might let it need to come to that one day. Don't let curiosity turn into cruelty, though. There's a difference between discernment and defamation. We know this. One is power. The other's just chaos. And if we're going to live in an era where elites fall, institutions wobble, and narratives unravel, we have to be sharper than the hysteria machine. So laugh at the absurdity, side-eye the responsibility, ask questions, but don't become the thing you claim to expose, because real truth doesn't need froth, Erika. It doesn't need screaming. It stands. So yes, people are talking. Yes, eyebrows are raised. And yes, suspicious is in the air. But until facts speak, we breathe, we watch, we sip our tea very dramatically. And we let truth reveal itself without us turning into medieval village of Wi-Fi. But if something is truly kept in the dark, it won't stay there forever. And if it is nothing, that'll reveal itself too. But either way, stay sharp, stay funny, stay sovereign, and never underestimate the power of a well-timed, collective, interesting. I hope you guys are enjoying your Monday night. To my subscribers that are watching, I am so sorry about yesterday. I literally got so ready, sat down ready to go at the desk and was like, I can't do it. My brain's frying. Let's see who is there. Well, hello back to you, Mr. Mike Escudero. I almost mispronounced your last name again. Let's see. Jack, hi. Super Drive, what's up, Super Drive? And Butter Spider, hi, Butter Spider. I have a cat named Spider, and I have an acquaintance of mine. Her cat's name is Butters. I guess that would be their kid's name. If they had a kid. All right. I swear, sometimes I think you guys come on just for my monologue, and then like there's 5 of you who come on for my monologue and then leave. Did the overwork? I don't know what that means. Did I overwork? Probably, yeah, yes. And Medessa says, my first time. Well, welcome, Medessa. We are going to be talking about Erika Kirk. Not sure exactly what videos we will be watching, but I can tell you this. I am a psychologist. Human behavior is one of my fortes because one of my niche babies in psychology is dark psychology. It's a specialty of mine. I grew up in a cult. So brainwash, mind control, and manipulation is my forte. And to be good at that, you have to know human behavior really well, because human behavior really is down to mathematical code. So as long as you can assess a personality type rather quickly, you can learn to manipulate said personality type rather quickly. So I've been very, very suspicious of Miss Erika Kirk from like day 0. And I took a lot of heat for it. But y'all owe me an apology. Because y'all thought I was crazy. And now y'all starting to see, oh, she is acting kind of weird. I don't want to hear everybody grieves differently anymore. Because there's only a certain amount of behavior you will see from grief. You won't see laughing. You won't see relaxation. You won't see someone free of guilt, free of worry, free of bargaining, free of remorse. You won't see someone, you may see someone who's completely stoic. You might see someone who's completely rage filled. You might see someone who's completely incapacitated. You might see someone who gives you a mixture of all those things. But you damn sure won't see someone capable of reading a script very well, capable of remembering lines super well. And when you claim you lost your soulmate, well, I know what it's like to lose a piece of your soul personally, because I lost my son in my arms, and you can't put makeup on for like a long time. You can't. The grief overcomes you. Your body goes into straight survival mode, and it is not thinking about hair, makeup, or becoming a CEO. It is thinking about using all of its energy to not die of grief, because grief can kill you. You can have a cardiac event from grief because there is a bundle of 32 nerves at the bottom of your heart that is connected to the emotional center and the pain center in your brain. And when you are experiencing emotional pain, you will have a cardiac reaction to that, which is why emotions are always associated with the heart, because there's a biological reason for that. So the emotions do affect the brain. So then the brain recognizes the heart is in a overdrive mode, and it goes into, now I have to keep this heart beating. And sometimes the older you get, the less easier that becomes for the body, and you can have a real actual cardiac event, which is what they actually think truly Jesus died from up on that stake. And if he did sweat blood truly in the Garden of Gethsemane, that would medically track from intense fear, because he is having a vascular leak. So, yeah, it's all, grief is a very, very powerful, powerful, powerful emotion. And to see Miss Erika Kirk able to be not a trad wife, but a go-getter wife, being a mum with 2 babies, the extension of Charlie assuming his role. So, on top of the way she's handling grief, through some of her receipts she's tried to give Candace Owens, I noticed something that really, really, really tracks with everything we're finding out about Israel and Epstein and pageantry and the demon that traffics children and how that demon works. I saw her using a photo of her children as an alibi for where she was on September 9th. And those children, she covered their faces with her fingers, but those children in that photo of a photo on a phone the ages were switched. And I'm telling you, I checked it about 40 times. And the ages of the children were wrong. So, you can't make accusations. However, where there is contradiction, there is a lie. Because the truth cannot contradict itself, because it is the truth. So why would she have a motive for lying? She's being caught in a lot of lies. She's been married before. That's out in public record. Her realty company seems to be a shell company. She really has gone down. She's definitely an actress. We know that. I could tell you she's not a good one. Eric's a psychologist. I'm telling you, her acting is terrible. I might get a bit snotty tonight. Elsa might be popping out. She's creeping. Do you hear her coming out? The lady is in full swing tonight. She's up to bat. There's my crown. Well, hello, backwater. Look, the peasants gave me a drink in this cup. We don't drink out of these cups. Ladies don't drink out of glass. Or better yet, if you were a witchy lady, a copper. You drink out of copper. That's why the only thing you drink in copper is a Moscow Mule. But copper is an anti-arthritic. You actually need copper about 2 to 4 grams a day. More than that will make you nauseous. It's a trace mineral. Don't let the Rockefellers lie to you. Okay? I need my Viking goblet when I'm feeling war hungry. But when I'm feeling like talking like shit, I need my gold. Oh, my mother is coming through tonight. Ooh, the sassy Trinidadian born princess is out. And then you've got a bit of Scottish ladyship in there too. All right. What do I have on the menu for you all? Okay. Don't forget, I'm going to open up the caller hotline about every 5 videos. And then fan of the day, Backwater won his second one. I do need my goblet, sir. Last show. Maybe you could make me one. Make me a staghorn to drink my mead out of. Ooh, don't put that in there.
It's not real copper inside.
No, it's fine. I'll take a goblet, though. The green goblet. The green goblet. It's in the cabinet. All right, here we go. On the menu, Dark Psychology of Erika Kirk. I like how we're starting off. All right. Erika Kirk seems off. Erika Kirk's a Rothschild. What? The Franzvies. Where do they come from? Michael Jackson wasn't just singing. A resurfaced clip. Do not be a follower of any religion. This is not Ghislaine Maxwell. CPS kidnapping empire. Photo comparison. CPS coaching kids. We should probably flop the last 2 videos because they seem out of place. Like number 8 should be number 9. And number 9 should be number 8. All right, CPS, coaching kids. We're going to talk about that pretty raw tonight. That's fine. The Tumblr is fine. We're going to talk raw about it. And I might say some things that might piss the people off. And I hope that happens. And I hope that there's someone who works for CPS on. The next one is I was created by a government program. Why the elite want us to use AI. 3 years later, it wasn't an accident. Meanwhile, this is what's happening to black children. 0 kilometers. Where is his tattoo? How many more? She needs your help. And what's up with Guthrie? And then fan of the day. All right, Backwater's got me. He's going to make me a stag mug. And what was the guy's name at the dealership? Huh?
I don't want to say it yet.
What do you mean yet?
Huh?
What do you mean yet?
Once the has to be finalized in the survey, it has to go through the Hyundai first.
I'm feeling froggy. All right. Someone just dodged a bullet tonight. Mr. Lopez just reeled me in.
Only for a few days.
So I saw Avatar, Fire and Ice. That shit was badass. If you've been watching the movies, Fire and Ash, shit was super badass. It's tense. If you get migraines, bring an ibuprofen because you're going to be like this the whole time. Like, oh God, I can't take this. It goes south quickly and stays tense the whole time. But it was James Cameron. You are the man. If you missed my interview with Sean Stone, Oliver Stone's son, last week, that was on September 11th. I believe that was episode 76, possibly. Check it out. It's a good one. We talked about his documentary he made about the Kennedys. So you need to watch that. S. Rousey says, I feel bad for Savannah Guthrie's mom, but they need to look at that Clinton all day. They need to look at the Clintons. They need to look at her husband, not to mention the blank blank and wrongdoings at Savannah did by exposing those girls. Yes. So I did hear her husband was buddies with Epstein. And the Clintons, shame on them, man. We need to see some consequences for this wickedness. And I ain't going to be satisfied if they breathe in air. Hi, Mac. Did you guys see in the Epstein files? I found this pretty early on. But did you see in the Epstein files where they claim that Joe Biden was shot by firing squad in Guantanamo Bay in 2019? And that since the election, it has been an actor. What? Hi, T-Bone. T-Bone. In Trinidad, TH is just a T sound, so we're just going to call you T-Bone. T-Bone 74. I'm doing wonderful. All right. So, we're going to get into our first video. This is going to be on the dark psychology of Erika Kirk.
I've been summoned to do the dark psychology of Erika Kirk, and what I will start with is moral certainty is one of the oldest control tactics in human history. And religions, religious leaders, Erika Kirk, love doing this tactic of moral elevation.
Okay, so if you haven't seen my episode on Zionism, it's probably episodes 7. That's the nightcap. I don't know. No, it's not the nightcap. I want to say, I have to look on YouTube real quick. Let me see what episode that is. I'll let y'all take a browse with me. I don't know what happened to my voice there. I got a crazy accent. I explained why I've cut 2 shows ago. So if y'all think I have multiple personalities, I do. All right. So here we go. Let's go to Thirst Trap News. There's me. A little younger. 2 years younger. All right. So the one on Zionism would be... where is it? Oh, hold on. There we go. Now we're in the right. Now we are going the right way. So it's episode 74. What is Zionism? Right there. You should watch that because I actually discuss, using moral authority over you. It's like what they did with COVID. Oh, you guys are too stupid to understand the science. Just trust us. Y'all dumb.
Basically, when someone positions themselves as morally superior or above, more enlightened than others. This automatically is a domination tactic, which basically is if I'm good, which I am, then that means you're bad. It's domination disguised as virtue. Listen to when Erika gives these interviews where she is talking also even with forgiving her husband's murder. I forgive because God has led me to forgive. And
she did that real fast too. I wouldn't have got there that fast, and nobody expected you to. God doesn't have a time for line for you to forgive. It was like, look at me being Superwoman right now. She was like, and then dramatic pause. You want to watch it? Let's watch it. Let's watch it. Oops, am I pulling up the wrong thing? All right, we're gonna watch it. I want to show it to you. Ay, ay, ay. This is the most dramatic thing I've ever seen. This is like a few days later. And it was a long pause. And then she's like, I forgive him. And then like looks up all friggin' dramatic, and it was just uncomfortable, to be honest.
My husband, Charlie, he wanted to save young men, just like the one who took his life.
Hold on. Let me do this. I'm just gonna leave it. Let me see if I can get it over there. Hold on. I'm gonna switch the view for you guys so it's better. All right. Let's see if it works this time. Or he might not have it formatted up there. Nah, he don't. Okay, that's all right. We'll just continue going with what we're doing. It works. Here we go.
That young man. On the cross, our Savior said, Father, forgive them, for they not know what they do. That young man.
No, I'm not Latina.
I forgive him.
So I held it in that day because, I'm like, I got to develop a baseline with this woman. But knowing everything I know now, my instincts were right. They were going off the charts. So let's just continue listening to this young lady. Boy, she makes me wish being 20 again, 25.
Anyone who has questioned Charlie Kirk's death, they are painted as the sinner. They are painted as, how can you even be questioning me on this? Erika's also very interesting. She does what Meghan Markle also does, which is selective vulnerability. I will be vulnerable when I feel like it on my terms, but when you tell me when I need to be vulnerable, how dare you? My husband is dead. On this morality play, like I said, we've seen this in religious structures throughout history. In high control belief systems, morality is not about the truth. It is about obedience. Religious language has always been powerful because it does not.
Basically made her seem so spiritual, like she's unaccusable. Like, oh, this is Charlie's wife. How dare you? This is Charlie's wife. And she keeps saying, my Charlie is a strong. They're just shoving it in your face all the time. This is the other half of Charlie. And the fireworks and the sparkly sequin suit. Like, woman, you're supposed to be mourning. Like, what are you doing? Looking like Miss America. Like, relax. Like, relax.
Argue facts, it threatens belonging. And you see this so much in churches. If you grew up religious and maybe had a curious, questioning mind and you questioned anything, you go back to, you have to have faith. You have to have faith. Erika has basically taken all religious tactics of control and has repackaged them. And every single, if you look at a cult or just the religious systems at play and you see in the times where they have gone the darkest, what are the tactics they have used? Those are the tactics that Erika Kirk is using to not be questioned. Because we've seen it time and time again. When someone claims moral authority, they are not asking to be heard or to say the good doctrine. They are asking to be obeyed. Righteousness is the cleanest way to avoid accountability. Every cult actually starts the same way. It's not with evil. It is with someone who is too good to be questioned. I think anyone with a curious mind, even if you really like Erika Kirk, if you're an Erika Kirk stan, we should always be asking anyone who is in this position of power, who is leading, who are listening to, watch how they handle disagreement. Erika repeatedly frames disagreement as harmful, immoral, or dangerous. And to police people on questioning from this moral.
And if you've done your research on her ties to Israel, we know why that foundation is being laid there too.
high ground superiority. I have found enlightenment. I have found healing. Red flags should go off for you. I am very on board with the statement of everyone grieves differently, but I think it should be questioned that the way she's grieving differently is literally follows the same alignment as cult leaders do. So very curious indeed.
Yeah. So the church that she Calvary Church is tied to a lot of trafficking issues, a lot of drugging celebrities. All the celebrities go there. There's a lot going on there. A lot. What was I going to say to you guys? Somebody said something in the chat, made me think of something. Let me scroll back. Yeah, so the laundering of money at TPUSA, I think, was an accidental discovery. It was clear they were prepping for a large amount of money that was coming from a man named like Pierre something or whatever from France. Turns out this man's a billionaire. And there's ties to Bibi Netanyahu there. And he was on a call with Bibi Netanyahu and he told basically it was a kiss the ring kind of conversation. And Charlie didn't want to take the money to take TPUSA to quote to the next level. And, there's just a lot of stuff that you actually should have had to have been following since September, because it is quite in depth now at this point. But yeah, the moral authority is something people do when they just want you to, when someone acts too perfect, they're hiding the most, because you don't feel that way when you're with someone who's just real and don't guard themselves like that, because they're showing you just themselves being a human, and it's easier to trust somebody that's being more. You want to see a little imperfection in people. That's how you're getting authenticity. Because people don't want to see perfection. That's what the elites have pretended to be, so you wouldn't think that all this that we're discovering would even be a possibility. But we're actually forgiving by nature. We understand more about each other than they've been trying to make us forget that fact. So we want to see some imperfection, some human in there. Because if we don't, we know you're putting on a show. You know what I'm saying? You're just putting on a show. Okay. Next video. Ooh-wee. Erika Kirk seems off. Understatement. Where's the mic? There it is.
This is why I fucking hate her, actually, is because she promotes the whole, no, deadass. Erika Kirk.
So she didn't know he was recording her, and then she realizes it, and now she wants to be on her soapbox. This is cute.
Promotes the whole trad wife, you need to stay home with your kids and build a family, which I 100% agree with. But if you look at her actions, she's doing the complete opposite. Right. Her husband just died.
I support both things. You want to be a trad wife? Be a fucking trad wife. That shit's fucking badass if you're in a great relationship and you aren't worried about being able to have your own money. But if you want to work, pursue your shit too. But make sure you marry people that align with that. There are a lot of men in this world who define themselves by how their woman behaves and looks. If she looks taken care of, she got her nails done, she got her hair done, she got her jewelry on, she got nice shoes, she got a nice phone, whatever. Some men like when their woman rolls around in a nice car looking nice, because then that's signaling to other men she's well taken care of and she's just fine. And some men like to see whatever makes their wife happy. So if she wants to go have a job and pursue her career, I guarantee you, he'll probably just, support you. But if he can't give a lifestyle where you got all that glitz and glam, you could still define yourself as a man by taking care of her, because you could tell it's not about how much is spent. It's just about the details. Is she taken care of? And you can see it on their wife. You could see it in their behavior. You can see it in their chaotic and their hair's a mess and all that stuff. You can tell how attentive of a husband she has at home, or if she even has a man. If she has a man and it doesn't look like she got a man, that's a problem. So that's my point. So I support like whatever makes your family feel safe and like cared for. But when you say your principles are one thing, but your behavior, it is the total opposite of what you say you stand for, that's the definition of a personality disorder. Because if people are trying to talk to you about it over and over and over and over, like, okay, well, you say that you're a good person, but you keep doing these things over here, these bad things, you know what I'm saying? There's a problem. So, you know, say someone says, I don't stand for cheating. I think all forms of flirting are cheating. I think having a conversation on the phone on the side with a opposite friend, platonic, is still cheating because you're having a bond. All right, say that's what you say, but then you are behaving on the opposite way, where you can have platonic friendships with the opposite sex. Well, now you got a personality. That's a definition of a personality disorder, because they're behaving against what they say their principles are, and that's what she's doing. And people are picking up on that fact just instinctually, because we have something, most normal people other than psychopaths have something called mirror neurons, and those neurons are designed to help you sense what another person is saying non-verbally, because people lie.
Where the fuck is she with her kids? She just became CEO. She's promoting a book, doing every single
Backwater hit the nail on the head. Borderline personality disorder is what I was just describing in an extreme case. But there are other disorders that can cause very similar symptoms. You know, autism, ADHD, borderline personality disorder, and bipolar are all of those things all together are commonly misdiagnosed for each other, because there's a lot of shared symptoms. There's a lot of overstimulation. Everything seems like black and white, life and death. And also trauma can create, you know, borderline personality disorder is always from trauma, from environmental. It's a diathesis. So you need the right biological mindset mixed with the right environmental stressors, and boom, you've got personality disorder. It's the hardest to treat. A lot of therapists just wash their hands of these poor people. But it can go into remission with dialectical behavior therapy and cognitive behavior therapy. And it's a bitch to go through. And it just takes having a really strong support system that is really patient and just keeps pushing you to stay in therapy, because that therapy to rewire the so this would be a disease of thought. So you're talking negatively to yourself. So they've been doing this since childhood. So it's like taking a person to the gym that's been in a body cast for, 6 weeks. Their muscles are atrophied, and you got to start small. So you have to start small with these people to start getting them into reality, because their perspective of reality is just totally blown out of proportion with borderline. So you have to develop a baseline with them for the first month, just to get where their baseline is, to see how out of touch with reality they are. And then you treat them based on where they're at, and you start out comfortable, because they can feel like they're betraying themselves. It's very tough to teach people to learn to originate thought from a different place. And it's kind of the reverse of just teaching them how to let their heart take over more. They're guarded so badly in the heart. They have borderline personality disorder because their heart is so hurt. So it's teaching them to let them think with their heart more, because that was what always got them in a bad place. So in other cases, it's teaching people to think less with their heart, because bad impulsivity, decision making, teaching them more to think with their brain and with other disorders. So so there's your little psych crash rant. But let's watch this girl finish going off.
Podcast under the sun, traveling, flights, like. She's not being what she's preaching and telling other women to do. She's doing the complete opposite. That's facts.
I agree. I second that. I don't really know what's going on, but yes, I agree. She does look like the one demon preacher in her thingies. What's his name again? The one preacher guy who has a private jet.
Oh, yeah. That preacher that looks like Satan. That's who he's talking about.
Forgot his name. Someone commented, please.
This is...
going back to that question you asked, so Backwater asked if all those disorders were under one big umbrella. No, they're not. They just share a lot of similar symptoms. So ADHD and autism would be under one umbrella as more neurodivergence, and bipolar is under its own, because that's a chemical imbalance. That's a brain architecture also, but in a different way than neurodivergence. This is more of a chemical imbalance rather than the shape of the brain so much. So, and then BPD is a personality disorder. So that's a thought. So disease of the mind. So you've got one umbrella in the middle, and then you've got the two on the other side. So when it comes to the biology and the chemistry, you have that brain that has a disorder as an organ, and separately a thought disorder by itself, like a personality disorder, like borderline personality disorder, is more so the mind, the disease of the mind. So your environment taught you to think very sickly, and it needs to be nourished back to health the same way the brain as an organ would. You have your consciousness, and that's what psychologists treat. A psychiatrist treats the brain, which they're not your therapists. Your therapists teach the mind how to become in homeostasis with the body and the soul, and the heart. And so a lot of having ADHD or autism, especially undiagnosed, can give trauma, which can cause borderline. And then you can have, some dark SA that occurs in a child very young, and then you develop symptoms that would look like autism or ADHD, lots of overstimulation, lots of like hyperactivity possibly, or going completely within and being paralytic in nature. So all these things can look like each other. So knowing the patient's history is like massively important from childhood, because there's especially the first 5 years. So if the child went through a lot of stress in the first 5 years, you have to look at the environment, you have to look at the brain shape, and then you have to look at the experiences the child went through to actually understand truly what is going on with a soul. So I hope that clears it up a little bit. I can get a little tongue-tied myself too. So, all right. Here's a good one. Is Erika Kirk a Rothschild?
Erika Kirk isn't adjacent to power, she's born into it. A Rothschild heiress. Not by rumor, not by association, but by lineage. A dynasty preserved through...
So I know she's originally a Franzvi, which I do believe has ties to the Masons and the Rothschilds.
Close bloodlines, where influence is inherited, protected, and never surrendered. Erika represents the modern Rothschild model. Names changed, images softened, optics updated. While the underlying mission remains the same. Control without visibility, power without fingerprints. The old games never stopped. They just learned how to look respectable. And when you learn the truth about Erika Kirk's relatives, she also has a secret ex-husband, Derek Chelsvig, accused of child trafficking in Romania. These aren't just bad relationships, they're recurring patterns. The same names, the same networks, the same shadows. But this goes beyond who she dated or married. Because some secrets aren't just hidden, they're in the blood. Ask yourself this: how did Erika gain access to the corridors of power at such a young age? Pageant wins despite no prior experience and not fitting the usual profile. Running an international NGO.
Just knowing what we know about the Epstein files and how they were having babies for things. I've had a suspicion for a long time. A lot of these kid actors for Disney were born as Disney property. Like they were made either test tube babies or forced pregnancies. I've had that suspicion for a long time. Like Ariana Grande, she's so weird. If you've ever watched this girl, she behaves like a doll all the time. All the time. And I'm like, this girl is so, like, I feel so bad for this human being. And you can just tell she was kind of like manufactured. And look, so all of these allegations, I have been following this since the beginning, and all of this has been verifiable through all of the like internet sleuths. People are corroborating across the globe with each other. And I mean, very serious investigators that are independent online investigators that do this are corroborating it. So there are, and you can verify a lot of this stuff yourself, like her internet, her public records are like totally scrubbed. So I know when I ran for Congress, I scrubbed as much as I could, thankfully. So just the fact that you know to do that, it's like you're in a position to know that the public is going to be looking for your shit. So you're trying to get ahead of it. That's why you would scrub it. Just to be real about it, because that's why I did it. So let's look at some of these comments while it plays.
In a foreign country at just 17, working for a real estate company, selling Jeffrey Epstein's properties in Miami. Doors don't open like that by accident. The answer lies in her DNA. She's a Rothschild. Erika Kirk is...
Yeah, if you do some of the digging on her last name, it does get pretty freaky. Yeah, and JD Vance came from Silicon Valley. There's a lot going on there. There's a lot going on with what he said, and I would urge you, if you don't know what he's talking about, it because I can't even explain it all in one night. We'd be here for freaking 4 hours. You got to look it up. Just let yourself go down the rabbit hole. I promise you. You'll be like, so this is the thing. When there's a murder for hire forensically, it's always the people closest to them that orchestrate this. Even in all of the murder statistics, it's a huge portion that are on spousal homicide. And so they're always suspicious of the spouse. Now, murder for hires, it's never the spouse themselves because they want alibis and they want to be in a different place. Not saying that she did this, that she like hired a hitman or anything, but in those cases, they know their spouse's habits, where they're going, what they're doing, what their patterns are in a day. So they help provide the access to the victim. However, why my mind starts to go there is, one, because trained to go there. So I immediately went there. So I was already kind of watching her neutrally, because I wouldn't want to believe that, but it just was starting to add up. And then once you kind of see everything she's gained, I mean, setting up the tent, the replica of Charlie where he died, under this tent with the shirt and everything, so people could take selfies with it. It's so morbid. It's so morbid and offensive, really, to those of us who watched that. People were fucking taking selfies under this replica of where he got killed. And, you know, they made $250 million off the sales of a fucking shirt that he wore. So, with the lies that she's caught in, they're really bad lies, really stupid lies. And when you start to see somebody lying, that's what makes you go, okay, well, now we have to consider, like, what are you hiding? What are you hiding exactly? Because of the other statistics. So now it's like she didn't want to come across suspicious. They really clearly had a prepared PR campaign for this. I mean, she was doing a book tour when Charlie clearly said on Megyn Kelly's show that he wasn't finished writing that book. He said he was in the process of writing the book. He didn't say I'm almost at the end or I'm done. And that was 2 weeks before he died. So there was just a lot of stuff going on that really just situationally makes you go, Hence my opening monologue. All right. Michael Jackson wasn't just singing. Here we go.
Everybody right now, listen to me, do what the fuck I say, and do not fucking hesitate. Go listen to the song You Were Just Another Part of Me by Michael Jackson. Do not go listen to the song. Listen as if someone is telling you fucking instructions, okay?
She is tripping.
He is very clearly telling you what the fuck is going on.
Michael was telling us what was going on in almost all of his fucking songs.
Listen to the Michael Jackson song, You Another Part of Me. Read the fucking words, okay?
Don't point your finger, not dangerous. This is our planet. I made you love, and this is the planets are lining up. We're bringing brighter days. They're all in a line waiting for you.
You see, you gotta understand, MJ was just like a whole bunch of these amazing artists. He was casting frequency spells. He was literally trying to wake us up, and even we didn't realize he was trying to wake us up. That's why his energy shook the whole system. Y'all really don't understand it, do y'all? Michael Jackson was such a powerful figure, and his music moved us in such a way that they couldn't let him be him. They had to turn him white, y'all. They had to control his narrative, and they had to put handlers around him. His vibration was too strong. His music bypassed the mind and went straight to the soul. And when you have somebody touching frequencies like that, these devils around you, they don't want that, because you're going to collapse the system that they created in order to encapsulate you in.
That's what I've been talking about on all of these lectures and all of these freaking learning about ancient human origins. It's all about how to break free from the matrix. We don't want to be Cypher. We know we're in the matrix, and we're not satisfied knowing that, okay, well, yeah, it tastes good, and I'd rather, when the scene when he was eating his steak, he was just like, I know this steak is fake. I know it's not real, but it tastes so good. It's juicy, and so I just want to stay where it's easier. No, we are done with all of this Truman Show bullshit while you snatch our kids at will, follow them, and pluck them out of our hands. It's not okay. Nobody's kid is safe with what is going on in the world right now. Nobody's kid is safe.
These people fool you. These are the same people who have been doing this to our people for the longest time in history. They take our old good heroes away and give us these new YN
I ran in Florida, Mac.
heroes that nobody asked for. But you see what's happening right now, right? These YNs are turning to YMs. And that's because we were always meant to break the system. You cannot contain us. But yes, y'all, the shift is here. Just like Michael Jackson said, brighter days are ahead. And that's exactly what the sun has been doing. It's exposing all the BS. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Let's continue to get it. Peace in.
I don't know. It's so funny. Michael Jackson's song hit different. There's a song it's called Lolita Express. You guys got to listen to it. It was big a little while ago. And now, knowing Jeffrey Epstein's plane is called, or one of his planes was called Lolita Express or something like that. It just, like, the lyrics to this it's like, what? So the song's called Lolita Express by Lola Lexi. Look at these lyrics. I'm going to show you these lyrics. It's by Lola Lexi. There we go. So, let's see. Lyrics. All right. All right, where are the lyrics? Ghana. Okay, look. So, the first lyrics are basically about a guy, meeting a girl in a club, giving her all these promises of fame and whatever you want. And then she, so she takes the bait and let's see, where is it? She starts singing about the pizza. And I was like, oh my God. Okay, this is not the song. Where is it? Lord have mercy. I can't just, they probably, damn. You can't just find them no more. Okay. Oh well. We'll try it another day. I'll have it ready for you guys on another one. I just don't want to play music and get struck by the YouTube gods. All right. We got a resurfaced clip for y'all.
If you go back to 2015, you will see why they hate Donald Trump so much.
If you look at Bill Clinton, far worse, minor words, and his was action. His was what he's done to women. There's never been anybody in the history of politics in this nation that's been so abusive to women. So you can say any way you want to say it.
Look at the way Hillary was looking. She's like, they'll never believe this shit. They'll never find out. All those thoughts going through their head. No one's ever going to do anything to us. Y'all better be mad.
But Bill Clinton was abusive to women. Hillary Clinton attacked those same women and attacked them viciously. 4 of them are here tonight. One of the women, who is a wonderful woman, at 12 years old, was raped at 12. Her client, she represented, got him off, and she's seen laughing on 2 separate occasions, laughing at the girl who was raped.
What the fuck?
Kathy Shelton, that young woman, is here with us
Instagram,
tonight.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying
don't tell me about words.
Like he was thinking.
Absolutely, I apologize for those words. But it is things that people say. But what President Clinton did, he was impeached. He lost his license to practice law. He had to pay an $850,000 fine to one of the women, Paula Jones, who's also here tonight. And I will tell you that when Hillary brings up a point like that, and she talks about words that I said 11 years ago, I think it's disgraceful, and I think she should be ashamed of herself, if you want to know the truth.
Ooh-wee.
If you go back to 2015.
Yikes, stripes. Well, Trump, let me get a close-up. Get their asses into Congress. What's taking so long? Where are the charges? We're the only country now that hasn't brought charges. I hope you're being strategic. I really hope so. Because you know what happened with the release of it? It was genius what you did. Because you campaigned on releasing them. We all started getting upset when you weren't releasing them. And then I realized after the fact that you had to sit on it to make the Democrats start screaming their heads off about it. So that way when you did release it, you could say, nope, y'all wanted this. This is what you wanted. You demanded it. And it was really a very brilliant move. And it was during a government shutdown. And I have realized that this one, they only need like 2 votes left. Are we back open? I don't even know. But as of early Saturday or Friday, they only needed like 2 votes because they were tracking all of the congressional members' searches on the DOJ website. And the congressional people got really mad about it because they were researching themselves. And now they had all those signatures. So sometimes I'd be wondering what Trump's doing. But we want to see people that have been sacrificing children to their demon god hanging from the gallows. That's what they deserve, because we don't harm children in this country. And the U.S. has the highest number of missing children. Isn't that funny? 400 and something thousand children missing in this country right now. And we are the highest. That is like worse than plague numbers. You got to understand your kids are not safe. They're not safe. Get them the hell out of public school. Get them out of public school. I'm telling you. Can't be in there. They could not be in there. Don't let anybody take pictures of them. Nothing. You freaking protect your kids. It don't matter if they're going to hate you for it, because they're going to hate you anyway, because that's what they all do at 18. So let them hate you for being overprotective rather than not being protective enough and naive and ignorant to what's going on in the world. Because if you don't protect them, then they got a right to be mad at your ass. But if you do protect them, well, they're just being an asshole and they'll get over it. And that's my parenting advice. After having a 19-year-old and ran away just after she turned 18 because we're just such awful bigots, apparently. So that's why I say, just tell them the truth. They're going to be mad at you anyway. Just tell them the truth. You be the one that they can say always told them what to expect. So that voice comes in their head and goes, they hear you. I told you this would happen if you were being stupid. That way, when they're being stupid and said thing happens, they'll hear your voice saying, I told you. And what that teaches them is that they can always count on you. Yeah, they'll be mad at you. Hopefully my computer has not taken a dump. Hey, Ryan, the computer's frozen.